Hello Virgo, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Virgo for the next 3 months. So this will cover the period of time between October, November, and December. If you're more of a business person, this would be Q4 or Q4 of the year. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate. Drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Let's go and see what we have here. We did have a bunch of cards that wanted to pop out, but I am using the Gilded Tarot, the Kipper Oracle deck, as well as the Prism Oracle deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below if you'd like to pick them up for yourself. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take a couple of these Oracle cards. I'll take a couple of these Kipper cards, and let me make sure we're all set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it. All right, Virgo. All right, there we go. Put this down here. Also take 1, 2, 3 of these cards to clarify as we go along. Virgo, you do have a really nice reading here. Just taking a quick glance. Some of the readings have been a little dicey in this month, but in the next 3 months, but yours appears to be pretty good. So on the bottom of the deck, you have the Three of Swords. Spoke too soon. No, I'm kidding. One card never makes a reading, but the Three of Swords, it does indicate like separating from something. It can say that perhaps, there's something in your life that's falling out here, or that you are quite literally removing. This can, of course, be associated with love. The thing is, you have this love invitation here showing up in the in the current situation. So it's almost like maybe this Three of Swords energy happened already, like in the past. The Three of Swords can simply refer to heartbreak. It can refer to emotional releasing. And, when you have to, for example, let go of a friend because there's been differences or things happen between you and a friend, that's a heartbreaking situation. Or letting go of a family member, same thing. Or even being let go of in your job. Like, all of those things can be connected to the Three of Swords in some way. So do keep that in mind. It's not always about divorce and separation, but it certainly can be. But let's go ahead and let's dive into this even more here. So in the overall situation, or the current situation, you have the Page of Cups. So Page of Cups represents an invitation of love, as I've stated already. This can indicate a love offer. This can indicate new love. It's sort of like fun love, like, I don't know if that's the right way of saying it. That might be more of like the Page of Wands, but it's sort of like young love, like crush energy, like having a crush on somebody and like, wow, your crush actually likes you back. Like, wow, stuff like that. It can be kind of that type of energy. It's probably, if you are already in a connection, like in a relationship or married, it can say that maybe you're rekindling your connection in some ways, or you're, you're rekindling the love that you have for each other in a new way. The Page of Cups in a business perspective, or in other areas of life, this can talk about like some sort of creative arrival or some sort of creative invitation. It can say that maybe you are getting your creative energy flowing. It can also talk about a vision that you have, like connecting to a vision for your life or for your business in some ways. All of those sorts of things can come in, like dreaming, this idea of being like a dreamer. In the problem position, you do have the Four of Pentacles, Virgo. So the Four of Pentacles, you can see this is about hesitancy. And so I will tell you, if you're single, there is somebody here over the next 3 months, but do they know that you're interested? They're clearly interested, but the Four of Pentacles, this is somebody who's not going to make the first move, and it's like, maybe you have to make the first move, and maybe they don't know that you're interested here, because the Four of Pentacles, this person's hesitant and closed off to love. From a business perspective, you could say, or from a career perspective, Four of Pentacles is like, do not fear loss, okay? And this person's holding on to their pentacles. They're fearful that they will lose their money, or that, which is like a normal thing, right? Losing money is not fun. It's like normal to feel those emotions and to feel that way. But be careful that it doesn't like sort of percolate into, oh, I'll never have anything else ever again, or this is the end, or this is doom and gloom. Like, no, we live in an abundant time, believe it or not. There are so many opportunities for growth right now. There are so many business opportunities. There are so many career opportunities. So, if you do find yourself, dipping into that, oh my God, it's this or nothing, just remember, there are so many different opportunities. In the past, you have the hanging man. So the hanging man asks you to let go of something. All right, this person's hanging on by a thread. They're holding on to something too tightly when you get the hanging man. And this card in the past, this could suggest that you've been where you are for a little bit. Like, I guess one way you could think of it is like maybe you've overstayed your welcome somewhere. And I mean that more towards the self. Like, you have been in a situation for too long. And while you're comfortable, the hanging man is comfortable where they are. They're not growing. And what the hanging man really needs to do is they need to embrace a transformation. They need to embrace something new in their life. They need to see what is below them. They need to see what is out there. And the hanging man says, let go, okay? Let go, because where you are now is not going to be conducive to growth. And so here's what I'll say. I've been saying this to pretty much every sign, which is just keep in mind, we do have this interesting Mars in retrograde that happens here in October. And so Mars is going to be in Gemini all the way until March 2023. I've been talking about this for months, but it's alas happening here. We're coming up on it. And what I would say is this is a very important transit, not only because of how long it will be here, but also because this is a time where people need to be it's because it's in Gemini. This is a time where people need to be very careful about the way that they communicate. And I know you haven't had a ton of communication messages here, but what I will say is if you can avoid burning bridges at this time, I'd really recommend doing that. There is a separation here, so if you can kind of be very careful how maybe you decide to create this separation, because it's one of these things where it's like there's no going back when you get the Two of Wands energy. Just something to consider. Or I'm sorry, Three of Swords. My gosh, I lost my train of thought. When you get the Three of Swords energy, there's sort of this like no going back when we have this Mars retrograde. Anyway, in the future, you have the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands is all about, sorry, that was probably a little bit confusing. I'm going to bring it right back around here. So Two of Wands says that you have a choice to make, or you have a decision to make. You have options that are in front of you, and you may need to kind of decide on which road to go down. The Two of Wands asks you to do some research, planning, and discovery towards the right path for you. You've got this Two of Cups. It's like there's clearly a love interest here for those of you who are in love, but some of you are like, how do I do this? How do I am I coming on too strong? Mars and Gemini, am I coming on not strong enough? Like, some of you are like maybe deciding that if you're here for love and you're here for new love. On the other timeline, which is career and finance, work, business, there's an opportunity, but you need to make sure you have your ducks in a row. And that is to say, you need to make sure you at least have some type of a rough outline on where you're going or where you want to be going here with this Two of Wands, okay? Because there are some choices that you need to make, but there are some choices that you need to make, and you can't know everything before the story ends, but you do need to at least have some type of outline, is what I would say, because you don't want to be in a position where you're offered something and then you're not ready to receive. So make sure you are putting yourself in the best of position as you can to receive something, Virgo, at this time. On your mind, on your thoughts here, you have the Eight of Pentacles. You clearly know that you are skilled. You know that you're capable. You know that you have the accolades. You know that you've built the tools. You know that you're talented. And you know that you're capable of doing good work. Okay, so now I think it's just a matter of showing up every day And like I said, there's something here about you getting yourself ready for an opportunity. Like, don't let opportunity pass you by, because you have this Four of Pentacles here in the problem position. Hesitancy, okay? Hesitancy, I think, is very important to you. Don't let separations of the past, whether they be in love or in work, hold you back for either love or new work opportunities, okay? Easier said than done, but it's definitely coming in. I love this Wheel of Fortune here for you in the subconscious spot. So this is what you can't see coming, and you have this Wheel of Fortune, which says that your destiny could be arriving here. Again, destiny, is just one part of it. You also have to take action, right? You got to meet the destiny halfway, and you got to meet the universe halfway. And so this does say that there are good changes here that are coming that you might not even expect in your life, but you got to be ready for them, and you got to be ready to take them head on. And so I think for some of you, there's this Two of Wands energy of you planning, getting yourself ready here over the next 3 months. There's clearly an invitation coming in whatever area of life that you're here for in this reading. And so all there really for you is left. The only thing left for you to do here is for you to be ready. And that's what I feel like, that's truly what I kind of feel like is going on here. The only thing left for you to do is to be ready. And when the opportunity comes, when the wheel spins in your direction, go for it. In the Staff, in the direction that you are headed, in your current influence, the way that you are influencing the situation, you do have this Four of Wands. This is a card of marriage. I'm not saying everybody's going to be getting divorced here. The Three of Swords, Four of Wands, that would be a traditional combination of separation. But again, you have so many other cards here that are not connected to that. And so don't get stressed out. Like if your marriage is going well, that's probably not going to be the message for you. What this, I think, more importantly is talking about is the Four of Wands says that you are stable. Okay, you have stability, you have a firm foundation in your life. Remember that when you go through change, challenge, separation. Okay, you always have something to fall back on, Virgo. And that's what I think some of you also it might be wise for you to remind yourself of that. In the external influence here, you have the World. So this is Saturn energy. Saturn is a slow-moving planet, which means the world takes a long time to complete. But when you complete the world, which this is a completion, it's a major completion. When you get to the world, it says that you can be certain of something, okay? There's certainty with the world. There is a cycle closing out, there's a chapter ending. And take time to reflect, take time to enjoy yourself and to sort of revel in the victories that you've accumulated along the way and the experiences that you've gained when you get the World card. So in the external influence, this is definitely a very good card. You are completing something, maybe connected to this offer here. In the hopes and fears, you have the Four of Cups, which is about making sure that you take time to reflect. It could be about boredom and apathy, but I think in this case, it's making sure you take time to reflect. And remember, I said, don't miss out on an opportunity here. Remember, getting yourself in a position where you're ready, so when the opportunity comes in, all you have to do is act. This person is potentially missing out on an opportunity here. So I would say, I know this is like a very linear way of thinking, but I feel like preparation is a very, very important thing for you over the next 3 months, because it feels like there's something new coming in. And that would certainly be supported here by the Fool, because the Fool represents a powerful new journey or a powerful new beginning. It starts the journey to the world. The major arcana is the Fool's journey. That's what it is. It's the hero's journey to get to the world. And so you have something closing out here, but you also have something beginning. And so it's like, get yourself ready for something. And I say that not in a way to scare you, but instead this looks very nice. Okay, it looks very nice here for you, Virgo. Let's take a look at these 3 tarot cards. Okay, so here's the star of the show for astrologically for everybody. The Tower, the 5 Swords, and the Chariot. The Tower is associated with Mars. Okay, I talked about the Mars energy that's going on. And, the Tower's been coming in for many people. I feel a very big need to explain the Mars in retrograde for everybody. And here it is. Now, there could just be, honestly, globally, there might be some shocks that come out. I don't know. I'm not trying to like put out a negative vibe or a scary vibe or anything, but it's been coming in. It's been coming in, and the astrology is interesting for the end of the year, I will say that. The Five of Swords is some sort of like defeat, loss, but the thing is, this person here is not out of the game. They've simply been knocked down, but they are easily able to get back up. So do keep that in mind. The Chariot says that you will be victorious. You may be going through challenges and difficulties, but you can triumph. You can be triumphant over those challenges and over those difficulties in your life. Again, be ready. What is the phrase? Be ready for action, I mean, is what I feel like saying. Like, when the coach calls your number, this is what I'm trying to communicate here to you. It's like, when the coach calls your number, are you ready? Because the coach is calling your number here with the Page of Cups. Like, the destiny is ringing you up on the phone and saying, hey, here you go. Let's go, And, when that happens, will you be in a position to go for it, is my question to you. So, wow, you actually had 5 of these Kipper cards. So you have House, Official Person, Distant Horizons, Toil and Labor, and Imprisonment. Good times ahead when you get the Distant Horizons card. I know, obviously, Toil and Labor and Imprisonment are not positive cards, but there's an easy way for you to get out of this situation in this case, which is just preparing and making sure you're ready. Official Person is like obviously somebody who could be connected to like HR, somebody who could be very important, which is human resources, or somebody who could be very important in your business life or your work life. I think there are good times ahead here for you with the Distant Horizons card. It can suggest 3 to 6 months in the future. Don't spend the time worrying about how this is going to happen, when it's going to happen. I think with the Toil and Labor and the Imprisonment card, I think for you it's just preparing and making sure you're ready to be sort of put in the game, so to speak. You have the Ghost card, Faith, Magic, and Anger. Anger is associated with Mars. Again, if you can really take a moment before you speak, if you can really take a moment to sort of reflect, it will be very wise for you to do that between now and the end of the year with the astrology. This Faith card is just saying, listen, hold on, okay? Because there's something really nice coming in here for you, Virgo. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next reading.